What's up, Cyclone Nation? We're back for episode 20. 20 episodes in already, and we are pleased to be joined by Iowa State student journalist Lucca Mazzie. Lucca, how we doing over there, brother?
I'm doing great. Excited to be here. Yeah,
Welcome to Iowa State, first of all. You're
thank
from
you.
the West Coast, I know, and we're at
Yeah.
Stanford for a little bit.
hmm
Owen, we don't want to leave you out of the picture here for our audio audience. How we doing over there?
I'm doing great. Can't complain. It's a beautiful day out. I went outside this morning, and I can tell we're getting closer to college football by the week.
Mm.
So that cool, chilly fall weather starting to set in here. We are brought to you, as always, by Underdog Sports. Play five to get $50 in bonus bets. Use code Top Tier Iowa State when signing up, as seen on the screen here.
Yeah, so like I said, was saying, Lucca, you were at Stanford on the West Coast. How's the transition been coming to Iowa State and being a part of Ames?
It's pretty cool. I mean, Stanford, obviously, it's a couple minutes away from where I used to live, so it's really cool to be able to have that access while I was still in high school is great. But now finally being in college, Iowa State, I mean, it's fantastic. I wasn't too sure about Iowa, to be honest. Being from California, but Ames is beautiful. I love it. I mean, I've had a
Yeah.
blast so far.
Have you got a chance to meet any of the basketball or football players yet?
I haven't. I've actually been looking around. I haven't seen anybody. Pretty shocked,
No.
but I will at
Yeah.
some point for sure.
They're staying under the radar. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly.
Well, we just finished up on Wednesday our Iowa State predictions. Owen had them finishing. I think we both had them finish at 7-5, right, Owen? If I remember
I had
correctly.
him 6-6. You had him 7-5. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So about a one game difference. Luca,
Yeah,
you just started a new show with CF After Dark where you
I
guys gave
just
your
did.
predictions.
Yeah.
How do you see Iowa State's season shaking out in 2026?
Do you guys want me to go game by game or just give like overall? What do you think?
Whatever you want to do, bro. Whatever
Just give us
direction you
like
want to go
a
with it.
general overview, maybe.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I think obviously it's going to be a tough year for Iowa State. I mean, there's no doubt that it's I mean, it's a very different roster. Matt Campbell, I believe, was there for 10 years, and he changed the program. Even though a lot of Iowa State fans, don't really like what he's done recently, there's no doubting that Matt Campbell was fantastic in his time here, and really put Iowa State on the map. And not being with him makes things a little bit challenging. Now, Jimmy Rogers, I think it's a decent hire. I think I'm glad he brought some guys from Washington State, and they're going to be some of the best, I think, players on the team. Isaac Terrell, love him. I think he's probably going to be the best player on the team. Maybe not the most important, but probably the best overall and a leader on defense for sure. But the reality is, no new starters on offense or defense. It's going to be really tough. Big fan of the special teams game, especially with Conrarty and some of the returners. But I do think it's going to be a tough year overall. Now, have them going 5-7. I think SEMO's going to be a win. I think Bowling Green's going to win. I think West Virginia's going to be a win at home. I think Oklahoma State is going to be a shocker. I think Oklahoma State is a fantastic team. They're going to come into Ames 6-0 or 6-1 or 7-0, and I think Iowa State's going to take them down. That
Oh
happened
wow.
in 2012, maybe. That there's a big one. Uh,
2011, yeah.
yeah,
I
2011, yeah.
remember too. Iowa State has one of the I think the best upset in Iowa State football history.
yeah.
Although we got a lot, a
Yeah.
lot, a lot of
Yeah,
good
it's
ones.
definitely up there. So, I mean, I wouldn't say this is on the same page, but it's definitely going to be a really big one. It's going to be like a shootout. And then I have Iowa State beating Cincinnati late in the season to go 5-7. Now, to be very honest, I can see a world where this Iowa State team goes 2-10. I can see a world where this Iowa State team goes 8-4. I mean, I think there's
Wow.
so many different possibilities. The Big 12, it's so tough. I think there's only one game that's for sure going to be a loss, and that's BYU. That's going to be a 40-point loss. I'm pretty sure about that. I'm pretty sure about that. But
That's
other than that, I think
terrible.
any game's winning is winnable. But obviously, there's it's really tough to say. I just think that being at home is going to help them out a lot. I don't know if you guys noticed, but all five of those wins I had were at home. I think it's tough to play in Ames, Iowa, tough to play Jack Trice, and in the Big 12 in general, it's tough to go on the road. So that's why I think Iowa State's going to go 0-5 on the road. But I also think they'll go 5-2 at home. So yeah, overall, I'm really excited for the season. I can't wait. I might be in the parking lot at 6 in the morning on September 5th because I
Mm.
can't wait for the season to start. And yeah, I got him at 5-7 this year.
Owen, what's your reaction to that?
Completely reasonable. I think I picked Iowa State to win one of those road games. That's why I had them at
Okay.
6-6. But like you said, it is really tough to play on the road in the Big 12, no doubt about it. And Those two road games with BYU and Arizona back to back, despite there being a bye week, is still really brutal. It's still tough. It's going to be hard. It's going to really test this team and test their grit and their mentality of it. I mean, obviously they're both West Coast games as well, so going out there, the time zone changes, and
Not
with
easy to play in
BYU
the West
being
Coast.
on a Friday night, I mean it's going to be really hard. But if Iowa State can split those games, or split the Baylor UCF game, but just one of those pairs of away games, I think that'd be great, and definitely could be the difference between them going bowling or not. So yeah.
Completely agree with you on that.
You mentioned that they could go 8-4. What games could you see flipping where that's a possibility?
I mean, I could say anyone here, but I think Baylor could flip pretty easily. I think UCF could flip pretty easily. I think Kansas State could flip pretty easily. I think Iowa could flip pretty kind of easily. I think all of them could flip, but I would say if I had to put money that one of the games I didn't pick to win, I'd probably go with UCF on the road just because I believe they'd be coming off a win against Cincinnati at home. So I see UCF being interesting. Kansas State's so hard to say because like Avery Johnson, you really just never know what you're going to get out of him. Obviously, they're year one head coach, so it's really tough to say. But I think there's so many games that could go either way. Like I said, I see a world where this Iowa State team is horrible and they barely get by Bowling Green, and that's all that and they beat SEMO and that's it. I also see a world where they're actually fantastic and Jimmy Rogers is a really good hire. But it's so hard to say.
Wow. I love that. I mean, I have them at 7-5, obviously, so I could see 8-4. But I'll be honest, I do see what you're saying about the downside of this. I mean, that's what happens in college football when you have so much roster turnover, new guy in the building, all these different things. But no, I love both sides of that. I think more people are willing to say like, oh, they're going to be terrible, and no one's really willing to say like, they could actually be pretty good if a couple of games go the other way. So
yeah, 100%.
That's a great take.
Thank you.
Well, we want to look at the Big 12 at large as well. This season, we're really going to be looking just at Iowa State and their games here at Cyclone Central, but we want to kind of look at the Big 12 because we don't really have a chance to do that throughout the season. So, Owen, I'll let you start. How do you see the Big 12 shaping out this year? Give your Big 12 championship prediction, maybe an overrated team, underrated team. How do you see it shaking out?
Yeah, I think, we have to start, on what we've hit on in previous pods. You and me have both said the Big 12 is very open this year, given the quarterback situation with Texas Tech. Obviously, Tech absolutely dominated the Big 12 last year, no question about it. Was a superior team in every way possible. But, I think they were actually looking at Thomas Castellanos from Florida State. There was something going on there, so they could end up with a decent QB and be just great again. But I think you have to look at BYU. You have to look at the fact they returned L.J. Martin, Bear Bachmeier, some really stud key pieces on defense. But then you also have to look at teams like Arizona, Oklahoma State, West Virginia. And I think Oklahoma State and West Virginia, those two teams it wouldn't surprise me if one of them went 9-3 or 10-2 because they both had top 40 transfer classes. They both brought in 50, 60 new guys, a lot of new 4-stars. They have a lot of talent. They have young coaches who are willing and eager and determined to make their stamp and leave their mark in the Big 12 this year. So I think those are two teams to definitely keep an eye on. I think Iowa State playing West Virginia early is going to be a win, just like Lucca has it, because like I said, they're young, they're going to be inexperienced, they won't quite have found their footing yet, but Oklahoma State could definitely be operating at full power and potential when they come to Jack Trice on Halloween night. So I don't think that there's ever been a game on Halloween, so at least with Iowa State. So it'll definitely be a fun game. Maybe I'll even go to it, but I definitely think BYU and Texas Tech are going to separate themselves as the two best teams early. But like I said, teams like Utah, Arizona could definitely be up there and make contention for the Big 12. But from a championship standpoint, I got Tech and BYU again in the Big 12 championship. And I actually have BYU winning this time. I have BYU taking the cake and BYU getting an auto bid to the college football playoffs, and Texas Tech 11-1, 11-2 after that game, and getting an at-large bid. So two Big 12 teams in the college football playoffs. Why? Because it has to happen. If it doesn't happen, it's just another shot to the Big 12 conference and another blow to their reputation and cementing them further as the fourth best Power 4 conference, which I hope doesn't happen, but that's why I'm also rooting for two teams to get in from that championship game.
Luke, I'm going to let you go next, but you're high on Texas Tech. I would think that based on everything that's happened this offseason with them, that would be a big distraction. But you just see them moving. Oh yeah. Oh dude, I think the whole Brennan Sorsby thing is gonna hover like a cloud over Texas Tech this year. I think they'll go 10-2, so I don't think they'll be terrible. But I don't see them being in Big 12 championship contention.
I mean, look at their schedule.
I haven't contention at 10-2.
I'm at 10-2.
But they won't be in Big 12 championship contention?
No. I'll explain why in just a second.
Okay.
There's a certain game on the schedule that's going to be a tiebreaker situation. I'll get to in a second, but yeah, I'm shocked by that. I credit you for it, but I don't see Texas Tech.
I mean, their schedule's a cakewalk, AJ.
Welcome to the Big 12, baby.
Well, there's one game on their schedule that I keep teasing, but I'll get to in a little bit, that is going to be very interesting if it goes a certain way. So
now's the time to get all your hot takes out and stuff. So
of course. All right, Lucca, what you got for the Big 12 this year?
Wait, can I guess your game real quick?
Okay, go ahead.
At Houston.
Houston, Texas Tech is going to be
That's going to be a tough one.
It is going to define the Big 12.
That's a good Houston team.
Willie Fritz in Houston. I think that is going to be a huge game on Fox in the evening. Texas Tech at home seems like an easy game. Oh no, sir. I think the Willie Fritz Houston Cougars walk in there and get a dub. But that's for later on. Lucca, what you got?
I like that. Yeah. Big 12 is going to be interesting this year. Now, I mean, regardless of what AJ said, I think a lot of people still have Texas Tech to win the Big 12. I'd be pretty surprised if most people didn't actually, but I'm actually with Owen on the fact that I think BYU is going to be fantastic. I have Texas Tech and BYU actually in my conference championship as well, like I would say most people are. And I'm actually with you on the BYU thing. I don't know if I've heard that many people say it, but I love this BYU team. I mean, they're just such a football team, in the sense that they run the football well. They have a quarterback that can run it well. They have a returning rusher that's a top 5 rusher in the country. They have a defense that's great. It's old school football. They have, they brought in Cade Uluave from Cal, who's basically, Cal's entire identity on defense. They have Evan Johnson at cornerback, who made some insane interceptions. I believe won them the Pop-Tarts Bowl last year. And overall, they have such a fantastic team. They have a really good coach as well, and it's so hard to play in Provo. I think that's one of the toughest places to play in the entire country, to be honest. So I think BYU is actually gonna go ahead and win the conference, but it's really hard to say now. For Iowa State, I think I'm gonna put them at around 13th. I think there's gonna be a couple teams lower than them, but everybody's kind of gonna be hovering around the 3-9, 4-8, 5-7 thing. Obviously, they were projected to finish last in the in the preseason media poll. I don't think that's gonna happen, but it's not gonna be too far from it. We're going to have to see a lot out of Iowa State to prove otherwise, but hard to say. Now, for my super underrated teams, I mean, it's so hard to predict Oklahoma State, but I love Oklahoma State. Even though I have them losing to Iowa State, I think they're fantastic. Eric Morris is a really good hire. Drew Mestamaker, Wyatt Young, Ethan Westlowski on defense. They're going to have a better defense than people say. They brought in some guys, which I like. But yeah, Oklahoma State's fantastic. I have them in my top 25 to start the year. I don't believe the AP poll has them in the top 25. Which, I mean, I understand, but personally, I would have them in there. And then the other team, I don't know which way to go with this, but I'm going to say Colorado. Not a fan of Deion Sanders, to be honest. I'm not a fan at all, to be honest. But they have a lot of talent. They have more talent than you'd think. And while I don't think it's going to translate to anything crazy, I certainly don't think they'll be at the bottom of the conference. And talent alone will at least push them a little bit over the edge. Now, if Iowa State was playing Colorado, I'd probably pick Iowa State at home. But, yeah, I think the Buffs are a little bit better than people think this year. And, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Owen?
I mean, I don't think Colorado can get much worse than last year. I mean, obviously, they beat Iowa State at home. So, but I do think that would happen this year just because it's kind of a hard place to play. You're going out west again. But they're definitely a little undersized from what I've seen, like from clips and stuff. They have a lot of smaller players. See people kind of making fun of them online and stuff. But yeah, I mean, Deion Sanders. I mean, I don't think it's a make or break year for him because I think it's a situation where he'll kind of go on his own terms, just because of who he is, his identity, his reputation and stuff. But I do think Colorado, I could see wins the season. So,
Wait, I got a question for you real quick. What are the chances Deion Sanders takes the Florida State job after this year?
Ooh,
I think it's really high.
ooh,
Because there's no way Mike Norvell will last another year. I think there's no way.
that's very intriguing.
Right?
I don't hate that at all.
I don't think.
Former
Oh,
Florida
no, we
State
lost.
alum. We lost.
I don't think
both.
it'll be a good hire, but I do think that probably is the direction they go. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I remember I was at the Stanford Florida State game last year where Stanford was able to get the win.
Yep.
Had the honor to be able to rush the field, which was really fun. I remember I was at In-N-Out, which West Coast thing, obviously.
Dude,
But I had some. I mean, obviously the Florida State fans, wanted to check it out. Wanted to go on the California road trip. So I remember seeing some Florida State fans in the In-N-Out, and I was asking them about Mike Norvell, and they were out on him then. Obviously, the season didn't go much better after that. So I was insanely shocked that he actually made it that far. But yeah, I mean, regardless, I think that it'll be interesting to see with Mike Norvell whether Deion takes that job. But Colorado certainly has to have at least a decent year for him to take that.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they do have a decent year, so I could totally see the Deion thing being a factor. That would be a huge story in college football the following year too.
Yeah, for sure.
And as a California, I lived in California at middle school and high school, so In-N-Out is very familiar with me as well. So that's cool that Florida State fans got to experience it.
Great spot.
Okay, time to come clean, because this is the time to kind of get it all out in the open. Big 12 is going to be chaos at the top this year. There's going to be 3 teams at 10-2. So I got two teams at 10-2, 2 teams at 11-1. So Texas Tech will be one of the 10-2 teams. The other 10-2 team, I believe, will be Utah. I think Utah's going to be really good this year. And then I have Houston and BYU both at 11-1. I think Houston, their 2 biggest wins of the year that really put them in the national conversation is at Texas Tech. And then I also think they win at Utah. I think that they win both those games. I think those are 2 huge wins for Willie Fritz and for the squad. And they put themselves in a position to be in a Big 12 championship. So I'll take BYU and Houston in the Big 12 title game. I'll take BYU just like you guys will. I'm super high on them. We talked about this a couple episodes ago, but their coach staying around after all the rumors of him leaving speaks volumes to that program and everything they're about. So there's a lot going on there that I think is exciting for BYU. I hope that you're wrong about the BYU Iowa State game, but I don't see it going very well.
Yeah,
hopefully it's not a 40-point loss, but BYU is really, really good. So I think we all got BYU. You guys are still super high in Texas Tech. I will give them another loss on their schedule. I had them losing to Houston, and I have them losing to, what did I put down? Oklahoma State. So I have them losing on the road to Oklahoma State. I think it's a tough spot for them to be in. So I think that's very possible with BYU and then being able to go to the college football playoff. I think them getting a win in the college football playoff would be huge for the Big 12. Something needs to happen this year. Otherwise, people are really going to start talking down the Big 12 in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
So, in terms of underrated, overrated teams, Colorado's an interesting one. I don't think they're going to be very good.
I don't think so. But hard to say.
Yeah, Arizona, I think, is interesting. I think that they could be right in the thick of the Big 12 race going into November. I also could see them going the exact opposite way. They're kind of my fringe team either way. I have Iowa State beating them on the road, actually, in the biggest win of the season for Iowa State. So I think that'll be a good win for the Jimmy Rogers era. But Arizona could go either way for me, so I see that happening. So, Owen, are you in a well over there, my guy? What's going on with the microphone over there?
Can you guys hear me? Am I good now, or?
We got you. It sounds like you're in a wind tunnel.
Oh, I don't know. It's probably my stupid computer again.
There we go.
It's this darn competitor.
We'll press on and press forward.
Wait, can I add something real quick about the Big 12?
Go.
I forgot. BYU goes 12-0, beating Notre Dame, and Texas Tech goes 11-1.
They play Notre Dame?
You got BYU undefeated.
They play Notre Dame.
Oh, I didn't know that. Ooh.
Yeah.
Is it early in the season?
Huh?
No, it's
Is it early in the season?
They play.
It's like week 7 probably, something like that.
If they got them earlier, then that wouldn't be a hot take at all because Notre Dame is horrible in the early season.
You think so?
I thought you were
I mean,
saying
last
this
year they started 0-2.
I don't like Notre Dame either, but I don't know about that.
They started 0-2 last year, and like that
They
kept
did.
them out of the playoffs. And then the year
They did.
before that, I mean, they got upset by Marshall at one point, and then Northern Illinois not too long ago. So, but yeah, we'll see. That's interesting.
That's
Fair enough.
October 17th. Notre Dame at
Yeah.
BYU.
So like week 7-ish.
That's the only loss I have for BYU is that game. But
Okay.
I can
Yeah,
see going
fair
the other
enough.
way as well.
Notre Dame will be favored for sure.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of Notre Dame and college football at large, this is our one chance to get everything in our hot takes solidified and in concrete going into the season. Owen's got our top 25 AP poll pulled up there. Take a look at this, Lucca. Tell me what you're thinking. What teams are going to be favored? Who's a team that could shock the college football playoff? Obviously, we had Ole Miss and Miami shocking the world last year, which I think kind of saved the college football playoff, in my opinion. How do you see the college football season as a whole playing out?
Yeah. So should I just rip it? Go with my national champion here.
Go with the teams you got. Go with a team's going to shock the world. What you got?
Okay. So, I mean, I think Ohio State, Oregon, Georgia, Notre Dame, and Texas. The top 5 is great. I actually have Indiana at number 2. I think 6 is a bit disrespectful. I mean, they proved it last year. Until they prove me wrong, it's really hard to disrespect them. Now, number 1, who I actually think is going to win the national championship, is the Texas Longhorns. Now, I don't love Arch Manning, to be honest. I like Arch Manning, but I don't think he's going to be the reason they win it. I think Sark has been right there, and his job is on the line. He will be playing for his job this year, and I think he's going to coach a hell of a season. They have a great running game. They have a great receiving game. They're great, especially on the D line. They have such a good squad. They brought in Hollywood Smothers. They brought in Cam Coleman, who's been insane in spring ball or in fall camp. Like there's such a good team. I mean, just very well rounded. And I mean, if Arch Manning is your weak link, I think you'll be just fine. And I think Arch Manning will have a good enough season, but he's not going to be the reason they win it all. It's just going to be a team effort. And I think Sark's going to have a hell of a year as a coach. So. Yeah, I have Texas to win it all. Like I said, I have Indiana at 2. I think A&M is going to be pretty overrated. Although I like Mario Craver, I'm not a huge fan of Marcel Reed. He plays in a very offensive play style, and even then, I just don't think he's the right quarterback for their system for what Mike Elko wants to do. And so I don't think A&M is going to be great. Also, obviously, that SEC schedule is super tough. Now, Ole Miss is interesting because I think Trinidad Chambliss is my Heisman. I love Chambliss. I mean, there's a lot of tough there's a lot of great players, but I really think Chambliss is the most proven of them all. And yeah, obviously they're going to run the ball a lot to Quan Lacey, but I mean they'll certainly Chambliss will get his throws off, and I think Ole Miss will have a pretty good season. Obviously they lost in Kiffin, but they still have a really good roster, and I still think Ole Miss is going to end up being good, potentially a playoff team as well. Now my big dark horse, I mean, I don't know, whether you're talking about playoff dark horse or national championship dark horse, and I don't know how low we're talking, but I think my national championship dark horse is Oklahoma. I mean,
yes, really sir. Come on.
It's hard to say with Oklahoma, but man, I love the pass game there. I mean, John Mateer, I think got a little too much hate. I mean, obviously he did get hurt, but he had a really good. I think at moments he looked fantastic. Obviously they returned Satania, who in my opinion is like a top 3 receiver in the nation this year. Love Satania and what he's doing. They brought in Terrell Harris from Virginia, who's great. They brought in Parker Livingstone from Texas, who we'll see what happens there. But
the kicker is a stud too.
Who is?
Their kicker. I forget his name, but
Tate. Dang, 29.
Yeah, I can't remember his name for some reason, but he's
best kicker in the country. Him and Kernardi. So I like Oklahoma. They're fantastic. I really think they're like my national title sleeper, but I can also just kind of see them being just an okay team that just kind of sneaks into the playoff, but we'll see. But yeah, I have Texas as my national champion. I think Indiana's number 2, but I think Ohio State will probably be in the national championship against Texas. I don't know if you guys remember a couple of years ago, there was the first college football playoff where Jack Sawyer got the return fumble for a touchdown, like right at the end of the game. Texas is going to take it to heart. Obviously, Texas, Ohio State also is early in the season, so we'll see what happens there. Texas is going to win early. I think they'll also win it late in the year, and I think the Longhorns win it all.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, I don't blame you at all for picking Texas. The talent there is absolutely insane. They're going to be in the national championship in my book, but they're not going to win it. They're going to lose to Oregon.
Okay.
I think Oregon's roster
Okay.
this year, the players they returned, Dante Moore is going to be a Heisman finalist. I think the defense is going to be there. It's always great. But I got Oregon, Texas, Ole Miss, Notre Dame, and Ohio State in my top 5. I think those teams are going to be really good. I think Ole Miss, a lot of people are sleeping on Ole Miss once again. I know they're in the top 10, but man, Chambliss at QB is a great QB, and then bringing back Lacey, and you have Alexander in the pass game, Haas. I mean, it's the offense is going to be rolling throughout the season. So, for my national championship dark horse, other than maybe Ole Miss, I'm going to take USC, and this might be really hot, but I think Mavia. I mean, he's a great QB. I think Lincoln Riley. I think. There's people just been talking. He can't win anything. He can't get to 10 or 11 wins. I think USC is going to be really good this year. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him in the Big Ten championship game or as a third or fourth finisher in the Big Ten. But I definitely think USC could turn some eyes this season. So yeah, it's. But again, we've learned a thing or two these past couple years from the AP poll. I mean, you look at last season, the teams like Penn State, Clemson that were picked top 5 didn't even finish in the top 25. So. AP polls are just going to mean less and less as the seasons go on because of the new era of college sports, NIL, transfer portal. It's so hard to predict these teams. But yeah, AJ, what are your thoughts on the AP poll here?
Well, so I just want to be clear. So Lucca, you got Texas and who in the national title?
Ohio State.
Texas, Ohio State. You got Texas, Oregon. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I don't have Texas at all. I think they make the playoff, but I think that they. I think Arch Manning is a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback, and I think that bites them in the butt a couple times. I got them at 9-3, so I have them as a fringe playoff team because of how the SEC shakes out this year. I love the Oklahoma pick, Lucca. I think that John Mateer is out for blood this year. I think with the injury that he had, with Brett Venables there, they are ready to. They're ready to take everything back. Can
I add something real quick?
Yeah.
Venables potentially playing for that Alabama job next year, also, or coaching for that Alabama job.
Took the words out of my mouth. Alabama goes 9-3 again this year. I think Kalen DeBoer is out of a job. Yeah. I don't think, as the controversy was last year, that Alabama will make the playoff as a 9-3 team. I think that was bogus last year.
Little news here: they just named Keelan Russell as their starting QB over Austin Mack. So that's been a battle going on for a few months now. But they have a starting QB.
Super high on Miami and Notre Dame once again. I got Notre Dame 11-1, and I got Miami 11-1. But my national champion is Oregon. I got Oregon undefeated in the regular season, and so I got them. And I will say, so I got a couple 11-1 teams. I will say Oregon and Oklahoma in the national title game. I think Notre Dame could play their way in there. I think it's possible that Georgia could play their way in there. I think Georgia loses a couple games during the regular season. So yeah, give me Oregon. I think Dante Moore coming back. Everyone joked around that he didn't want to go to the Jets or whatever, and all those jokes. But him coming back, he's an easy top 3 Heisman contender. I'll pick Mateer for the Heisman. And who's your Heisman pick, really quick before?
My Heisman finalists are going to be Dante Moore, C.J. Carr, Cam Coleman, and Mateer.
Cam Coleman, really?
Not Jeremiah Smith. Nope. I think Coleman's the best receiver in the country.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love Texas.
So give me.
I don't know about that.
I think he's going to be good. I mean, he played at Auburn and went 5-7 last year. So I think with Arch Manning throwing to him, and I think he's going to reach his full potential. So
yeah. So give me Oregon over Oklahoma in the national title game, and a dark horse in the playoff. This is the year, baby. Give me BYU. Give me BYU in the Big 12 to make some noise to get into the quarterfinals, semifinals of the college football playoff, and really get everyone to start respecting the Big 12 a little bit more. So this is the year. It has to be. Otherwise, people are going to start really talking about the Big 12, breaking apart, and these Super League discussions will grow and all that nonsense. So give me BYU to make a run at it before Oregon and Oklahoma take it home. So, okay. Any last hot takes? We've talked Big 12. We talked college football playoff. College football hot takes. So we've talked a little bit about, Lucca gave the Deion Sanders to Florida State. What's another one that's gonna rock the nation this year that people aren't expecting?
Ooh.
And anybody can jump in here. It doesn't really matter.
All right, I got one. You can go, Lucca. You can go.
I'll start real quick with one. You go, and I'll try to think because I don't have too many on the top of my head. But the one I've really been thinking of, I spent the last weekend with the Tennessee family. Actually, we're in Tennessee right now.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
But I think Tennessee's gonna have a really tough year. I'm not gonna lie. We had some fun debates, debating in
Define
Chicago.
tough.
But
What is a tough year?
like 6-6, maybe
Whoa!
5. I don't know. I mean, they have some guys, but I'm all about you got to see it, and I don't think Tennessee. Obviously, their quarterback. We'll see if it's Faison, but I mean, it's just he's not proven. The defense isn't like fantastic or anything, and so it's tough. I mean, they go to Vanderbilt. Like, I feel like Tennessee fans are saying that's an automatic win. They lost by like 25 at home last year, so I don't know if that's a win. Texas is not going to be a win. Auburn, it's hard to say. Like there's a lot of tough games there, a lot of tough road games. They go to A&M, they're not going to win that one, and yeah, it's really tough to play in Neyland. There's no doubt about that. I think they will beat Alabama. That's kind of their signature win, but I think 6-6, 7-5 is going to end up being what they did.
Okay. Owen?
So my hot take here is going to be Michigan State goes 9-3 in the Big Ten.
Stop.
Yeah.
Michigan
it,
State, the coaching staff, Pat Fitzgerald, LeVar Woods from Iowa. You cannot have a coaching staff that experienced. You cannot have a coaching staff that experienced,
Dude, Lucca left
that
the set.
tenured.
He hated that so much he left the set.
No, I think he liked it. Lucca I think that was a good take. I think he liked it.
I love it.
Look at that. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just looking through their
Michigan State?
transfer. Yeah, Michigan State. I like what was the QB's name, but
He's saying he disagrees.
Don't agree at all. We're gonna go like 4-8, but I'm glad.
I think what was the QB's name? I don't even know how to say this. Alessio.
You don't even know the QB's name? You think they're going 9-3?
Passed for over 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. I think Michigan State, with that coaching staff, with the experience that they have, the talent, they could go 8-4 or 9-3. I think they're a dark horse in the Big Ten. With the schedule too, they only play 3 or 4 ranked teams, and I think they can take one of those. They play Washington at home. I think that's going to be the one they end up winning. So we'll see. That's my hot take, hottest it takes as it gets.
I really like that.
AJ, let's hear yours.
Wow. Mine's a two-parter because this is a team that I totally forgot to talk about, and Lucca reminded me when he was talking. Your SEC champion is the Texas A&M Aggies.
No.
Now you might be saying, well, we talked about the college football playoff. Like, where was Texas A&M? Texas A&M loses in the first round, potentially to a G5 team, because I think that this whole G5 discussion has been, oh well, James Madison, Oregon. Like, what's the point of playing that game? There's going to be a G5 team. I don't know who it is, whether it's Boise State or if we're talking about somebody else, that walks into Kyle Field and like talk about a Appalachian State, Michigan type of upset. It's gonna rock the world that way, or it's gonna be like, oh wow, the playoff is still a thing. Like, this still needs to be talked about. So yeah, I got Texas A&M winning the SEC. I think that they're a really good team in the regular season. I think the hype will be too big going into the playoff, and they lose in round 1. So I love Mike Elko though. I love Marcel Reed. I think they're really good, and anybody can be beaten any given day. And so I think them going into the playoff, it's gonna be tough.
Any given Saturday. I got 2 more for you guys.
Go.
Real quick. I'm just trying to think of like stuff that I've said that's like went viral, so I know that like people disagree. Now this was kind of unfortunate on my part, but I put CJ Carr as the 20th best QB in college football, and that was
Lucca.
I mean, Marcus Freeman embarrassed me last year when he played at Stanford. So I'm not a huge fan of Notre Dame, to be honest. I'm kind of known Notre Dame hater, but I try to be objective. But CJ Carr had a really good running game last year, and it makes the ball a lot easier. 20 is definitely not right. I mean, I should have put him at like 10, but still, I don't think he's a top quarterback in the country. So I'll say that's my hottest take, because every time I say that, everybody's like, what are you talking about? That tweet ended up getting 450,000 views, and it was not a lot of love. So unfortunate. But my other hot take, super, super dark horse playoff team that people also don't like, Texas State. Really good offense. Returned 2 1,000-yard receivers. Bo Sparks, and I don't remember the other guy's name. One guy was 1,200 yards, one guy was 1,000 yards. And they returned their quarterback too, who's Brad Jackson, who's like a top 25 quarterback in the country now. Defensively, they're not really there. Overall, we'll see, but you never know. I mean, they're projected pretty much last in the Pac-12, but I mean, you never know, right?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Real quick, I got another one. I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but I wanna talk to my Penn State and Hawkeye brethren real quick. Penn State 8-4. I think they miss out in the playoff and lose a game. What did I have? At home against. I have it right here. But it's going to be the most Matt Campbell thing ever. I love the guy, but this is just what he does. They will lose at home to Minnesota.
No.
I think they lose at home to Minnesota. It'll be the most Matt Campbell loss ever for Penn State. Iowa
Your
goes
schedule's so
7-5.
easy though. Like it's a cakewalk. It really is. Like you look at
Only
it.
home
and
game
what-
they could lose is USC.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about 8-4. At worst I would have them 9-3, but I got them like 10-2.
I think I have them at 10-2. I don't even think they're that good, but I mean, it's so
Be careful
easy.
with expectations. Lastly, Iowa Hawkeyes are 7-5. I think they go on a 3-game losing streak. Michigan, Ohio State, Washington. I think Iowa State upsets them on the road in Kinnick, and they lose one more game in the back half of the schedule. So,
Your hot take
Kirk
is gonna go
Ferentz last
7-5?
year, 7-5.
It's
I
not
think-
that much of a hot. I
That's
mean,
not a hot- I don't think that's a
7-5,
hot take at all.
8-4. Like with that schedule,
Hey.
like they could drop one to Illinois or Nebraska.
I think 7-5.
If we know
but they
anything
could
about
go
our
6-5.
Hawkeye fans, that is very much a hot take. So I think Kirk
I got
Ferentz's
one
last
more.
year in Iowa City, which is this year, I believe, is a 7-5 season.
I got one more. I think Cal could be a sneaker team in the.
Oh,
in the
I love that.
ACC.
9-3.
They only
9-3.
play one ranked team. Saga Putuale, whatever the QB's name is, he was great last year. Brought
Good guy.
over Adam Muhammad from Washington. I think that offense is going to be great. They have a really stud receiver too, so I forget his name, but I think Cal could be pretty solid.
Yeah, they'll go
Okay.
9-3. I like them a lot.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. Well, Lucca, we appreciate you joining on. I know you got a lot going on campus today at Iowa State, but 2 weeks from today, Iowa State against SCMO to get the Jimmy Rogers era started, and we will have it all covered for you here at Cyclone Central. Owen, hit us with our sponsor one more time so we can get those underdog bets up.
Yeah, like I said, we're brought to you as always by Underdog Sports. Play 5 and get $50 in bonus bets and use code top tier Iowa State as seen on the screen. And shout out to our guy Lucca. Go check him out on YouTube at the Lucca Mazzie
Let's go,
Show.
baby.
And on
Hey,
Access
guys.
Media. Thanks for joining on, and hope you have a good day and a good year. And as always, roll clones.
Roll
Thank you
clones,
guys.
baby.
Roll clones.